Joyful Yogini here. Happy Friday. It's time for Feel Good Friday. And I am also live on Instagram here and has just come in the house. Beautiful bodies massage. Hey, I've been seeing you liking my stuff. I love that. Thank you. And thank you for the hearts. So welcome. So today's theme is talking about distortions of perceptions about sexuality. And so I was channeled, I guess, I don't know, maybe it was about 3 days ago or something. I was channeled that that's what the topic would be. And I got some information that started coming through, but it's also going to be a surprise for me as to what's going to come through. And I also did not have a chance to do the weekend reading yet. So I thought I would incorporate the weekend reading into this discussion as well. I didn't even think about which one I was going to go first. Any preferences? So anyone who's watching live, if you have a preference as to if I do the weekend reading first or if I go right into the topic first. Or I'll just see what Spirit says. Okay, I am going to use, I think we're going for the weekend reading first. All right, so I'm going to use the Oracle of Unicorns deck. And I have a feeling the weekend reading will be fairly short because I'm really wanting to get into the juiciness of this topic. So here we go. So what do we need for this weekend? And I'm setting that intention. So this will be a collective read for the weekend. And the universe is going to give us messages based on what the energy is for this weekend. Okay. And then we're going to see what messages want to channel through about distortions of perceptions. Okay. So we have two cards that want to come out for the weekend reading. And then we're going to get going. All right. I feel like it's like, okay. Well, what I just heard was start your engines. Like, come on, let's get ready to start our engines because this is going to be a great live stream. Lots of beautiful channeled messages that I feel coming in here. The alkalizer is in the house. Sweet. Awesome. Okay. So those of you just joining, I didn't have a chance to do the weekend reading, and I normally do that sometime during the day on Friday. So I didn't have a chance to do that. So I'm doing that quick. And then we're going to go right into the topic, distortions of perceptions about sexuality. All right. So I pulled two cards from my Oracle of Unicorns deck for this weekend. And the first card is balance. Here we go. Balance. Okay. And the message on the card itself is take time to relax, indulge a little more, or maybe a little less. So it depends on where you have been at within that balance of things, and set boundaries with your work. So, for some of us, especially if you've been working at home, it's like, it's always there, right? And sometimes things can just seem like, it's just like so important. I got to get done. And sometimes it's just like, I can't shut myself off until I get all that stuff done. And those are also perceptions. It's your own perceptions. And it can be distortions of perceptions. And it's about you setting your boundaries. So you set your own boundaries with yourself and with work. So, people you need to talk to, people you need to I also need to have a life. So I'm going to be getting back to this on this day, this time, things like that. And this weekend, the energy feels very playful as well. So I loved how we pulled this card, maybe play a little more. Right? Because I feel like last week was really thick. The energy was really thick. We were still going through shit, like the heaviness of some of the patterns that we were needing to let go of and emotions coming up. And maybe you felt like you needed to cry, or maybe you felt like you needed to punch a pillow, or, different things could have been coming up. And this week I felt the energy start to soften. So we also had, I got a little itchy nose. We had a new moon. Was that on a Monday? I think we had the new moon on the Monday. And so that energy, that new beginning energy is very positive. And I've been feeling that energy building, and it's building into this weekend. So this weekend feels incredibly playful. It feels really creative as well. So no matter what, if you got shit you got to get done this weekend, make sure you find the time to play. So finding that balance. And if you feel like having a nap at some point, have a fucking nap. Okay, I hope you don't mind the swearing. If you do, I'm sorry, but that is the power of. Okay, so the words I say are very intentional because every word I use has a particular vibration, and the way I say it has a vibration. And vibrations can be very healing. Vibrations can also be really thick and heavy and hard on our systems, and they can be so freaking light and joyful. So, what I am oozing out tonight is a lot of joyful, freaking sexy ass energy that you can take in, right? You can take in and fuel yourself with all this awesomeness, this positivity, which will help you to continue to heal. So, we're releasing some stuff still, and we're helping to integrate. We are aligning with our true selves more than we've ever known ourselves before, and it's cool. You know more of what you don't want, and you know more of what you want, which is beautiful. And every single relationship that you have, whether you're dating, right, or whether it's within the workplace, or whether it's with family, neighbors, out in the community, etc., every single relationship that you have gives you an opportunity to learn, and it helps you to have more compassion for yourself and understanding for yourself, and that, well, it's just, that's what I like, or that's what I don't like. And this is what I want to do because this is what is going to make my heart sing, right? This is what is going to float my boat. So it's important for us to be able to pay attention to that. And so this weekend, make sure you're getting the balance, fuel yourself with joy, 100%. Fuel yourself with joy. And, if there's stuff you want to listen to help fuel yourself with joy, stuff you want to watch, or specific things that you want to do for yourself, and listen to music this weekend. That's what's coming in as well. Listening to music and choosing songs that just make you want to jive and feel good. Okay. And those of you, if you've just joined in too, I am first doing the weekend reading, and then I'm going into the topic of the distortions in distorted perceptions of sexuality. Okay, so the next card for the weekend, I didn't even look at it yet. I'm just like putting it right into your face. Okay, some messages on my computer there. It's innocence is the card. Innocence. Take time to play. Okay. Nurture your inner child. Live with a childlike sense of wonder. All of the above. Love it. Love it. Okay, so it totally made sense that that card came up because the information started to channel through ahead of time. But I'm really drawn to that moon. See that moon? So that's a feminine energy. That's the goddess energy. That is, and we all have feminine and masculine within us. And that feminine energy is soft and gentle and compassionate and loving and patient. So let's do what we can to embrace our inner goddess, our softness, our gentleness. Because we have been starting to take action on stuff. I don't know about you, but I found this week moved faster. There was more things to do and to get done. And that energy is going to continue to ramp up. So this weekend, when you do have time to create some ease and a little extra flow and some more chill time, then we should be taking that on in addition to the play side and in addition to getting the shit done. So finding a balance within all of that. All right, so those are the cards for the weekend. It's time to get into the topic at hand. So, yeah, distortions of the distorted perceptions of sexuality. So, many of you know, maybe not everyone, it depends. I've gone through a really big sexual awakening myself. And I know for me, I definitely had distortions, um, distorted perceptions about sexuality. And I was, just to summarize like briefly, I had a school trauma when I was 14, or yeah, I was 14. I was 14. For some reason I was like, was that 13? No, I think it was 14. And um it really impacted my view about sex, my view about, whether it's okay to touch yourself, whether it's okay to turn someone on or turn yourself on. Um, it, yeah. Is it okay to feel sexy on purpose? You know? Um, and then distortions about nakedness and about kinks and pornography and like over the past year and a half, I've just been noticing as those distorted thoughts come up. And I'm saying distorted because sexuality is a part of who we are. Okay. So we all have a second chakra, and that's located between your hips. Kind of makes sense. And it's the center of your joy and your creativity and your fertility and your abundance and your sexuality. So it is your creative fertility. Let's get it on and be and have so much fun center. Okay. And it's unique to each of us. So, there's some people out there with some big kinks, right? And there's some people out there that like both men and women. And there's some people that just like women. There's some people that just like men, or maybe you might fantasize about the opposite or same sex, yet you're not practicing that. You might be doing something else and then fantasizing about that. And that is even the thrill of harnessing that and not going after that can totally fuel your second chakra. So it's like whatever you're drawn to doing. There's some people in regards to sex that just they want it like romantic, right? Why did I all of a sudden go for an accent? Because rolling the R's and picturing like the red rose dun, 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 in the mouth, right? Um, Okay, so yeah, some people like that sexy romance, and some people like that more like deeper passion. Well, I guess that's that sex. Okay, I was kind of mixing the two. Okay, romantic, sexy passion, I guess, was that with a rose in the mouth. But yeah, that passionate, like I need to get in your pants now, kind of energy, right? And then there's just the romantic energy, like I'm gonna draw a bath for you and let me give you a massage and so that I'm gonna take you out for dinner and I'm gonna open the car door for you, or so that could be the romance side. There's the energetic side, like tapping into the energy fields and specifically the heart chakra and the second chakra, of course, like connecting in on that way. So that more of that like energetic type of connection. And as I said, yeah, I already mentioned the kinks. I might have forgotten one of the kinds, actually. I'm thinking about Sexual Blueprint. You can look that up. There's a cool company. I'm not going to give it justice right now. Trying to figure out the name, and I don't even want to spend energy or time trying to figure out the name. But if you type in Sexual Blueprint, you'd be able to find it. So cool information on there about the way we tick in that way. And so yeah, we're all unique in that way. We can be drawn to one of those more than the other, or if you rank them from one to five as to what you like the most, that can give you an indication of where you're at with that. So some people get turned on by being watched. Some people get turned on by watching someone they love being done, right? Like want more people in there. Like there's all these different versions. But I definitely had perceptions of certain things being like too dirty, right? Which is just a distortion in a perception because we're all different and unique. And whatever that unique combination that you have, that is your essence, your creative essence. So each of us create things in our life in our own unique way. And when you want to manifest, when you want to fully align with who you are and bring in those desires like big time, it is about owning your individual sexuality. What is that? And some people might fucking judge you if they knew exactly where you were at, which is like maybe that's why we don't necessarily share that with everyone. And that's okay. However, you have a significant other. If you don't feel comfortable sharing what you want and how it would totally turn you on. Because if you have some guilt in there, you have like some dirtiness in there, thinking that you're not a good person and stuff, then that's what you need to deal with. And that sounds like work. And I don't mean it to sound like work. It's just about noticing those emotions as they come up, and then telling yourself, okay, this is a distortion in my perception. Because anything that is not love, joy, peace, gratitude, fucking feel awesome, if it's none of those, then it's distortion. Okay. And so yes, what they want me to bring up is, yeah, some people have an imbalance, right? Or imbalance. It sounds like I said in. Going in. No, imbalance. So some people might have an imbalance in, let's say, within their sexuality, just like you can have an imbalance with addictions to other things. You can have maybe too much pot, or too much alcohol, or too much work. You can have an imbalance there. You're addicted to some aspect within that, or just perceptions of, I need to work so hard and spend all this time in order to be successful, right? So any perceptions that we have that put us in a place of fear, anger, guilt, frustration, they are distortions. So it's about acknowledging where we are at on any given day. What kind of emotions are we having? If they're more of the heavy ones, freaking awesome that you're noticing them, because then you have a chance in maybe choosing a different line of thought, being open to maybe a different perspective, or maybe doing something different and setting some boundaries and things like that, because now you're like, fuck, I got to do something about this. Because if certain things aren't working for you, only you can make those changes. Okay, so let's go back on to sexuality. So we have gotten these distortions and perceptions from growing up, who we've been around, and overhearing things and seeing situations, and even certain shows, TV shows and movies that you've watched. Like when I think about being in, being 10 and up, and the different movies and TV shows I'd watch my parents watch, and then I would start watching, and the way that sex was portrayed, and how women were treated, and men being the power and the controllers, and women wanting to turn them on. And so that is kind of within my repertoire of what's sexy, So you can think about things like that. Well, you don't have to think about it. I'm just bringing it up. Okay, so those things have come up, and then with relationships and things like that, and the interactions with you and different mates that you've had, or friends talking about different relationships and things like that. It's also from past lives too. Some of you might believe that, some of you might not believe that, but I believe in past lives, and I've had past life regressions where I've seen many of my past lives, and it's been a very cool experience, very therapeutic, showing me kind of the karmic relationships that I've been needing to release, right? Wow. Okay. Sorry. They just gave me they showed me two people from what I have seen in past life regressions, and how they are in this lifetime, and just gave me a little message with that. So that's why I said that. So I don't want to keep you fully on the dark, but I want to let you know. Okay. So let's go back. Hold on. I want to drink. I've been talking a lot. How come you guys aren't talking? Am I just like monopolizing the conversation here? Okay, very bubbly. I'm having an aha drink. It's really good. I really like it. That one is lime and watermelon. It has a nice soft flavor to it. It's good and very bubbly. So I'll be burping. Okay, so let's go back here. I jotted down a couple things. Okay, so this is what I wanted to bring up. I jotted down a few things that they had said to me. So I'm like, oh, okay. So just as some notes so I can refer to them, which is good because I want to make sure I'm able to cover it all. Who is that? Dana. Hey, Dana. All right. Where is it again? Okay. Thank you. So, people, because we're going to talk about things like OnlyFans or other type of pornography type sites that are out there, or TV channels or things like that. Let's think about people who write sexy books. Okay. So even when I think about, oh, I have them up there, 50 Shades. So the books 50 Shades of Grey was a sexy series. It was a very sexy series. Um, yeah. And it would be great to have another series. I want another series like that, but even better now. Maybe I should fucking write it. Anyways, so when I think about, there's people out there who write sexy books, Harlequin romances, things like that. The I was gonna say Julio or Juan, with big chest and flowing hair and sweat glistening across his chest. So people will write sexy books and some really dirty type of books, right? And you know what? There's magazines that have, Playboy and things like that might have some sexy stories in there. And think about all the movies out there that have like awesome sex scenes in them, or yeah, or just pure sexiness in so many different ways, girls in nothing or little bikinis, and guys all like jacked and everything, and sweat glistening over their chest. Anyway, so yeah, it is okay. It's in the mainstream for people to write books about sex and articles about sex and movies that it can be totally sexual and awesome, right? So it's okay to do that. But if you make it all about the sex, then all of a sudden it's not okay. So it's taking the great aspects in the movies that were all like, fuck, that was hot. And dedicating places to do that, and all of a sudden it's not okay. Like for some people it's okay, but for other people it's like, that's dirty, that's bad, you know? And so how come people could write books and movies to turn people on purpose, but it's bad for an individual to then turn someone on purpose, then so I don't get it. And you know what I see it like? Cannabis. So, it recently became legalized in Canada. And it used to be a bad thing, like really bad. I don't know. My parents would have like shit their pants if they knew that I did weed in or various forms, shrooms, acid. As a teenager, I did, try a little bit. Um, but it's still not good for teens, by the way. You need to wait till your brain is fully developed, please. Or if you're, what, if you're like, fuck, I'm going to do it, I'm going to dabble, then please making sure it's only a dabble, okay? Just so your brain is very important. So that's a public service announcement there, okay? Um, so, okay, sorry, I got to get back on track. I'm going to take a sip first. Okay. Yeah. So, I'm burping again. I'm sorry. So within my sexual awakening, some people, like when I would be live streaming, some people would DM me, and it was a very interesting situation because I I didn't feel like I was sexy in any way, I was married a long time, and being a mom too, also being a mom, not someone who's sexy, right? And then so people would either mention things in the stream or send me a message say, telling me that I was sexy, telling me what they wanted to do to me. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? Like it was like weird. I and but exhilarating and amazing. And it was like, oh my God, there's it's kind of turning me on. Like and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Because I was suppressing that for myself and just redirecting it, right? But I had it fully suppressed. And so it started to come out. I was like, wow, like I I feel sexy and I started feeling more vibrant and I feel like I started looking younger even, and maybe that's my own perception because I was feeling younger on the inside. But I feel like whatever you do on the inside ends up happening on the outside, you know? Maybe you just care for yourself more, right? You pay more attention. Maybe it's you have that high vibrational energy of joy and sexy creativity and fertility. So it makes sense that you would feel and look younger, right? So it was just feeling so good. And because I started having those feelings, and then and I had my first orgasm. Yeah. And it's because of the sexual trauma that I had experienced. I was suppressing all of that. And then finally, I was able to do that. How incredibly healing. And that's with people on purpose trying to turn me on, you know? And so, hey, who is just in the house? Oh, Pierre, how are you? Welcome. Yeah. So, people on purpose were wanting to turn me on, and no one had ever wanted to do that before. It was always me aiming to turn them on. Like I'm a huge giver, right? So it was always me doing that, and no one had ever given back to me in that way. And I didn't think I was deserving of it or worthy of it or something because of the trauma that I had. But I didn't realize that was there, right? I just thought I was broken, but not because of that. I just thought, well, that doesn't work for me, right? And so people trying to turn me on or were turning me on in many cases, not everyone, right? Not everyone, because it depends on the energetic connection that I might have with them. I'm an empath, so if I can get the right connection, and there's nothing wrong with people who can't turn me on, right? It's how you're wired. It's that energetic, is it an energetic match? It's not whether they're good, they're bad, they're sexy or not. No, it's just, are they for you? Do you have that proper connection? So I was noticing that the way some people would talk to me would turn me on, and they would send me. Some people started sending me. Well, I had my first dick pic sent to me. Not this past fall, the fall before. I was like, what the fuck? I thought they were gonna send me a selfie. Hey, this is me. He said, "Hey, I want to send you a pic." I'm like, okay, like totally, like, and then I'm like, holy shit, that's a dick. So, anyways, and I was like, wow, right? and and then people started sending me little bits of porn too, like, well, watch this. Does this one turn you on? And I was like, and I was going through the process of, well, fuck, this is dirty, this is bad, like, oh my god, am I a bad person for wanting to look? But I want to look. I want to see this. Is this a bad thing? Isn't porn bad? Because it was those perceptions. And so I watched a little bit. And I'm like, no, like that didn't really do anything for me. And then someone said, well, what about this? I'm like, oh, well, that's pretty hot. you know? So like have being able, because not, but you're not gonna like it all. And it doesn't make anything bad or good. It just is what is a match for you. And and I was grateful for those experiences. And people would send me different videos of all different kinds, and some things that I liked, and some things that I didn't like. And it started to show me what I needed to discover my sexuality. Like, what is my what's my sexual blueprint? What does it for me? And being okay with that. So I was working through the thoughts, the fears, the guilt associated with anything to do with sex and sexuality. So I live stream regularly on Reddit as well. And I discovered on Reddit, holy crap, there's topics, all different topics. Like, if you want to see just, a whole sub on people coming. So either men ejaculating, or I'm sure you'd be able to just one for all women. It's like, holy crap. And then there's like couples, and then there's just discussions about sex, and discussions about even be rape, and helping people through. Like, it's pretty, there's so much there. And I find it can be educational. It's been healing for me, and it's helped with my awakening. It's helped to turn me on. And what I discovered is, because of the uniqueness that I am. So, and I'd like to know what the uniqueness of you are. You can add comments if you feel comfortable or safe to do that, that you can share, so we can learn from each other. So, yeah, it's been helping me to learn the combination of what I am. And I feel like what I like is a combination of everything. And I like variety in life in general. I like doing a lot of different things. I find that that's super fun. And so it's the same for me sexually. But I needed to dabble in different stuff, and like check different things out. And do I like that? Would I like that? And yeah, it's been interesting also in the dating scene. So if you want, you can remind me about that, and I can get back to it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm supposed to do it now. Like, I can get, but we were over here, but no, I meant to shift gears. So thank you. Okay. So yeah, even on the dating scene, and just, DMing with different people, I'm learning the different ways people go to meet each other, and different types of communication there. And even people who, again, might bring up sex, and the way they bring it up and the way they start talking is it's so unique. And it's really, it is an honor to be able to experience that with different energies. Right, it's been pretty cool. So, and by the way, I did a video about dating, the Facebook dating app, and that's on my YouTube channel. And so, anyways, I talk about my experience on that, so I won't go too much into that right now. But yeah, the different, it's important. What I've been discovering, it's important for me. I notice my reactions as they're talking to me. And when it comes to sexuality, or talking about sex, I'm just noticing that the way they might bring it up, and the way they go about talking about sex, is that a turn on, or is that not a turn on? Because if that's their natural way of communication revolving around sex, I can even tell before even having sex with them, if I am feeling it in my second chakra, and is this going to match? Is this going to vibe? you know but in some cases, okay, so this is just what's coming through. In some cases, you might not fully understand what that connection means, because it might be a new connection, a new type of connection that you've never experienced before. So you're like, I think I like this. I'm not sure, like, this is pretty good. But for me, there's still been questions that I'm like, I feel like I need to explore it more. And so sometimes it could be there's other things to experience that you need to experience. So even if you might think, most likely there's a good chance it's not going to be a good match, but you're drawn to move forward to experience, there might just be a lesson in that. So that was meant to come out there. Okay, so let's go back to distortions of perceptions. So, oh yeah, I was talking about the legalization of pot, cannabis. And, you know, so I was talking about how it was viewed as being bad and wrong, and everyone had to hide it. If you did do it, you had to hide it. And, you know, it, people might look at you if they knew that you did some cannabis, they might look at you going, oh, total pothead, and then have these perceptions of what that is, so judgments and stuff. And so, since it has become an okay thing to do, right? Because it's legal, then I'm seeing so many people doing it, and having it in a way like you would have beer or a glass of wine is like, no, I'm going to go for this. So it can be for some people an everyday thing. Instead of having a glass of wine, I'm going to have a gummy, right? So it's the perceptions of it have changed, and we can do that same within society about perceptions about pornography, perceptions about people who strip, who people get paid to sexy dance and get naked and turn people on. Right. So for me, I've experienced such a huge, incredible healing by putting myself in a situation where people were turning me on. And it, I am so incredibly grateful. I'm so grateful I had that experience. So now there's people out there, let's say on OnlyFans, and they want to turn people on. And you know what? That floats their boat. It turns them on. It lights their fire. It makes them feel vibrant. And then they help other people to feel vibrant who are drawn to it in that way. So some people are drawn to getting all ignited by going to porn sites. Other people get drawn to that by reading a sexy book. Other people do that maybe simply through fantasizing or watching sexy movies. We can get revved up in different ways, and it's okay, right? There is nothing wrong with it. And the only thing that can ever get like messed up when it's like there's a wrong, there's a good or a bad, it's just when things get imbalanced, right? We need to keep the balance. Now, I know with pornography and stuff, there are some terrible situations going on out there, right? There's some young girls being drawn into it that their brain is not fully developed. So if a woman's brain is not fully developed till age 24 or 25, then I don't think women under the age of 24 should be doing pornography. I feel like, but that could also be, I want to say this, that could totally easily be a judgment. Okay. So I need to sit with that and see, do I believe in my, you know what? I'm saying this out loud because we can have those judgments. Look, I just said, everyone should be 24 and up because of the brain development. But you know what? There might be some people who are younger than that end up being drawn to it, that end up needing to have that experience in their life for when they were having it. But the reason why I felt the need to say that is because the people who are trying to draw people into the industry, what I would like to ask of them is, let's go 24 and up, honey. Like, let's allow our women to grow into women first so they can make decisions that are in alignment with who they are, because at least at age 24 they know themselves more than 18, and with that brain fully developed, their emotional centers are more developed, so they can handle things better, right? So that's what I ask of the pornography industry, is like 24 and up at least. Okay. um but I'm also going to trust, right? I'm going to trust that whatever experiences end up happening to people out there, that they get the support that they need, and that they're stronger for whatever. Like, we are stronger for whatever we go through. So for me, having that sexual trauma, and it was from a 21-year-old, right? It was from a 20, and I was 14. And but I truly believe I needed to go through everything that I went through to get to this point of sexual awakening, so I can help others, right? I I would love to help you to heal if you have had sexual trauma. And that trauma could be simply distortions of sex, and fear, and um and guilt and shame. Like, so much of that has gone through the lineage, the ancestral lineage that we have taken on. I think if you want to dance and turn people on, you you're if it's lighting you up, that's the thing. Does it light you up, or are you doing it because you have to, or because you think you're being told to do it, right? We should be doing stuff in any area of our life that lights us up, that makes our heart sing. So if dancing sexy for people makes your heart sing and likes you to fuck up, then you should do that. And if people think you're dirty or bad, well, fuck them, right? Like, that's judgment. And for other women out there who are turning people on by whether they're getting naked, maybe they're playing with themselves, um, maybe they're making videos with their partner, and posting those and things like that. Like, whatever it is, it's about embracing that about ourselves. And I was talking about relationships before, so now we're going to bring that back in. So within a significant relationship, at least I want it. Let me tell you where I want, and you decide if this is what you want. I want to aim to have a partner that is my absolute best friend, that I can tell anything to. And if there's certain things that would totally turn me on, that is outside of the framework of being proper in society, right? Like, it's a little outside the box, and this is kind of what I'm wanting to do. And it I want to be okay to tell them that, and for them, to the best of their ability, to not judge, and to embrace, and for there to be a beautiful match, that my dog's at the door barking, to be a beautiful match, that you can provide each other what they need in a safe, loving, sexy way. Okay, so let me let my dog in. Ooh, I'm feeling stiff. I had coffee today, and it can make my joints a little more inflamed. So I'm feeling that. Good thing I'm doing yoga tomorrow morning, right? All right. Okay, let me take a sip. I'm getting thirsty here. And then I'll be burpy. All right. There was some other things too. Okay. So yeah, in regards to OnlyFans, um, I got my this was part of my losing the judgment, okay? Because I channel messages. I talk to my angels and guides. I channel messages to other people and channel messages for myself. And it's usually for the self that it can be a little bit harder, because your own judgment can come up, your own fear can come up, and then it's kind of like, you might kind of fight the information coming in, right? And they have to work on settling it in and give you different messages sometimes. So it's important, or it's good, when we can meditate often and be open, and get those messages to come in, which is great with yoga, right? Because there's always a shavasana, which can bring in some beautiful messages at the end of your yoga. Okay. So, as part of my sexual awakening, in addition to live streaming and getting those messages and exploring different videos and reading stuff in different subs and having some communications with different people, like different conversations with different people, and different people would tell me, the type of relationship that they had with their husband or wife, and different sexual preferences and kinks and things. It was a beautiful opportunity for me to open up my mind to different types of relationships and how sex can work in different relationships. And it's not that it's bad or good, right or wrong. It's just what's right for you, and finding a partner where that can work together. So if you feel like you can't be your total sexy self within your relationship, what needs to happen? So you need to speak your truth. Do you need to set some boundaries? Um, it, do you need to be truthful to yourself in what you need and what's important to you? You know, with my husband and I, we're going through a separation. And through this sexual awakening, I got to a point of, oh, like we're not meshing in that way. We're not meshing in that way. And and then so I th- I'm like, okay, like is this important enough to end a relationship on? If we're just not meshing in that way, but other things, let's say, are good, is like, can you end a relationship in that way? And I'm like, oh, that made me feel guilty. That made it feel wrong. So then I'm like, to do something about this. Okay. And then so I started demanding what I wanted. I want this and I need this, and this is going to turn me on. And here's my list of 50 things, if that I want you to do or whatever. So, and like having those discussions, having those discussions together. And so sex got better and better and better. It came to awesomeness. And and then so I thought, okay, so I didn't need to end the relationship because of that. Oh, you want to come on? But then because I got that, I'm like, okay, we're good in that area. Then the universe was showing me, okay, Gracie, okay, she wants up. Okay, do you want to go up there? There we go. She can totally jump up herself, but she's like, I'm a little princess and you need to pick me up. So, and then sometimes she will jump off the bed herself, like, here we go. And other times she's like too tired to fucking get up. And she's like, don't touch me. And I'm like, fine, stay there. And then and then when she wants to get up, instead of her getting up and off the bed, she'd be like, bark, bark, come and get me. I'm ready to be picked up. And she'll bark and she'll bark and she'll bark. And so I'm like, okay, you little princess. Anyways, she's a cutie patootie. I love her. She's my therapy dog, definitely. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, so the OnlyFans. So yeah, I was going through. I was learning a lot, and then um, I got the message that I should get an OnlyFans, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, are you fucking serious? That is considered, that is known for like porn. Are you kidding me? I would not do that, So I was like, oh. And then I was getting messages of, you need to give yourself challenges to feel sexy. And so they, and when I'm saying they, it's my angels and guides, like, who were helping me with my healing. And so I can help others to heal because this is my purpose here. So anyway, so I got the message of, you need to do yoga in lingerie. And I was like, wow, okay. And they gave me that message in a few different ways, different people saying things and everything. So I got the message again, got the message again. I'm like, fine. So I started to wrap my head around it. Oh my God, people are going to totally judge me. Like, what if this person would see it or this person would see it? Oh my God. Like, I had to go through that fear of judgment. And so I finally got to the point. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. What am I going to fucking wear? And I didn't want it to be too revealing because I wasn't even used to really showing cleavage before, like it's very recent that I started being okay to show a bit of cleavage. Like, I've come a long way. And so I ended up getting this corset type outfit. So, with the little straps. And then I just wore like um boy short underwear, and so I ended up getting an OnlyFans. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this on OnlyFans, but I didn't have enough members to um, to do it. And I got the OnlyFans so I could have a safe space where I could do it and not be like, and hoping that relatives and stuff like that wouldn't see it because it's in that area, right? And so, but you needed to have at least 5 members to be able to do a live stream. So I'm like, okay, I'll just videotape it. And I'm like, okay, that felt a little bit safer even to videotape it. So I videotaped it and then I put it up I ended up putting up on YouTube too, and OnlyFans. And that was fucking scary, like just doing that. And it was just a short, I think I did one song and with that outfit doing yoga. And I didn't choreograph it. It was just improvised. And by the way, my butt looks better now than it did then because of the weights I've been doing. I look back at the video now, I'm like, your butt looks so flat. And so it come out like a little bit, yoga and weights, it helps with that. Anyways, I'm so judgmental of myself still in certain things, and I'm like, just stop it. Okay. Working on my own distortions of perceptions, right? They're there. Okay. And yeah, so I did that. And then different people started giving me challenges. And so I would get courage. And some of the challenges I was given was just to do in the privacy of my own place, right? Just to be able to, even just use a mirror and looking down. Like, it was so basic. I needed the basics. I needed to start playing, right? And so I would like, okay, challenge accepted. And then I'm going to try this. And then I started getting more brave about what I was posting, but all along going through fears and judgments and having to walk through those judgments and let them like fall away. And then the next challenge and yeah, so it's been an amazing journey. And now my whole journey, maybe not my whole journey, but a lot of my journey is on my OnlyFans, from my beginning to where I am now. And there's certain things that I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And that's okay too, right? It's not that I have to take it to the ultimate level of where I can take it. No, I'm only doing what makes me feel sexy. I'm not going to do something that is going to push me to total discomfort and feel icky if it's not there, right? So it's been a really cool, healing, amazing experience to finally embrace me. Still feel like, is that Michael? Hey, Michael. Hope you're having a great evening. Thank you. Yeah, I hope you are too. Um, so yeah, it's been a really cool experience. And I feel like there's so many people out there that have those distortions of perceptions or distorted perceptions about sexuality. And just like cannabis being legalized, I feel like sex needs to be legalized. Um, and and just educating people about a healthy sex life, having a healthy, yeah, having balance within your sexuality and within all the other chakras, right? It's not just balance here within your energetic system. We need to have balance in all areas of our life, including sex. And so, but I really feel like it needs to be embraced. And when there is someone I know who's on Instagram, and she does these sexy videos of her dancing. And she's around my age. I think we're pretty close in age. And she and I know I had distortions before, because when I would see this woman and dressed sexy, she's got cleavage going and everything, and she is dancing and shaking and giving her and being her sexy ass self. And I remember having thoughts that were total distortions, that would be like, I can't believe she's being sexy like that. I can't believe she's being out there and like sexy and do and now I'm in the place of, fuck you, rocket girl. You go. You give her. You can be as sexy as you want, any way you want, and you just fucking own it. And that's I think that is so beautiful and amazing. And I fully want to get to that level of just like, this is fucking me. And yes, I'm a sexual being. And yes, I think about sex. And yes, I think about it a lot. And it's fun to explore, right? And in that, I'm exploring to discover my own unique sexuality. And I wish that the same of you. And I wish you can have a relationship, or a lifestyle or whatever you want to have, right? But to have the experience of having people who accept you for all that you are, where you can feel like you can totally be yourself, dress how the way you want to dress, behave the way you want to behave, talk the way you want to talk, and just you can just fully own it and be in your power. And then like you are all that in a bag of chips, you know? Like that, I feel like that's what we should be striving for. And in some cases in your relationship, if you are in a relationship right now but some shit isn't going that well, it doesn't mean it can't be healed, because it can be healed. You can end up getting your mojo back. It is 100% possible for you to get your mojo back if it's not there. It's also quite possible that your connection can be full on reignited best fucking sex of your life. Okay. And if it can't be healed in that way, then what else is going on with this relationship? And have you been speaking your truth? Have you been setting your boundaries? So either relationships can heal to be the best fucking relationship possible, the deepest connection, or it's like maybe you've had all the learnings that you've needed to have with that person, and now it's time to move on to um, something that is more in alignment of who you are. Okay, because I want you to accept you, and when you fully accept you for all that you are, including that sexy ass energy, that unique sexy ass energy that you are, so embracing that within yourself and having that partner to embrace can be available to you. Okay. So we need to ask the universe for what we want and focus on that. And so if it comes to, let's say, a soulmate, and you don't know if who you are currently with, if they're your soulmate, if you don't know that, and you want to have confirmation in that, or if you're not with someone and you want to bring that soulmate in, then it's about putting that call out to the universe. And you can be as specific as you know yourself in that. Okay, so just as an example, so let's say you want to have a relationship where you can fully communicate in total freedom, and they're going to do their best not to judge and to fully embrace you, right? So let's say you want that. So that's one thing you're going to put an order in for. Let's say you want to, just to throw a specific example for fun, right? So let's say you want to have a relationship where your partner would be turned on if, let's say, you were having sex with someone else. So that could be a very specific, because let's say that is total fantasy, like that would be awesome, or the other way around, you want someone that's okay by you watching them. Right? So if let's say that's something that would really 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 float your boat, and it's really important for you to within a relationship, then you can throw that order in. But you can also just say, hey, I want my soulmate, my perfect match, my deepest relationship that I could possibly have, the most perfect relationship for me being in alignment with who I am. So to be able to have that life of bliss with someone, right? So that's the thing. It's about having that life of bliss if you want. I know I want to, right? And the universe will respond. So that was really good. I drink a lot during this. It's good if I do. Um, so yeah, we put our order in. I drink a lot during this. It's good if I do. Um, so yeah, we put our order in, including everything that would be a beautiful match sexually as well. And maybe if there's certain things you want to be able to do together, like, so let's say you love going for trail walks, whether you have a dog or whether you don't, but let's say you love trail walks, then cool, that should be something that you put your order in for. Hey Jesper, how are ya? Oh, green-eyed goddess, whoop whoop, lavender. Okay, lavender, you might not still be there, but anyways, hello. So yeah, you put in that order, and the universe will provide it to you, right? You just need to trust. You need to totally trust. And when you're in your head, hey, thanks for our hearts, whoop whoop. When when you're wondering, like, is this right? Is it going to be okay? Are they a good match? Whatever, just get out of your head and just use that inspiration. If you're going to take action about something, if you want to do something, if you have that inspiration, don't do it. Don't be in your head and think about it too much, because there's always going to be a learning. So if you trust that, ooh, that feels good, okay, you do it. And let's say it doesn't work out, well, then maybe you were just meant to have that learning. I've been having an eyelash that I don't know if it's trying to poke me. Anyways, that's why I've done that. Okay, so does anyone have any questions? Does anyone want me to pull any cards in regards to maybe about your sexuality, maybe about a relationship, maybe it's going to be something totally different, and you just want me to pull cards? So I'm open. So even though we've been having the topic, so you can ask questions in regards to sex, sexuality, distortions of perceptions, those are just all examples, and then I'll see what additional information you want to channel through. So I would love for you to Yogini, Jesper, it's been a while. It's nice to connect with your energy. It's nice. So I haven't been spending a lot of time on DMing in the places that I live stream, like not having a whole bunch of conversations with the people, because my energy is needing to go elsewhere. So I've been kind of pulling back and not talking as much in those areas, which has been really good because it's giving me an opportunity to go internal a bit, but to also have some more energy to put towards. Um, I'm trying Facebook, the dating app. So, anyways, it's I don't know why I kind of like it was like, are my kids gonna see this? Or I started like going, should I be saying this? Um, it's yeah, I just wanted to get my feet wet, right? And so I've been just talking to different people, and it's been I don't know, it's been a whole ride right there, like of learning and stuff like that. It's been a neat experience, also overwhelming. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull back there too, you know. But anyways, it's been neat. So it's the next level of my journey, and which is exciting. T Compton, hey, hello, hello. It's been a long time. Hey, gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Just for be careful with the Facebook dating app. It's filled with romance scammers. Yeah, I've already found a couple. Yeah, you know what? It's been an interesting space to practice my intuition too, right? I'm like, might play a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I know what's going on here, and then and kind of feel things through because I like practicing the intuition. I'm like, let's see if I'm right here, and go through it and then, yeah, oh, there it is, right? So I don't know. The universe is showing me different ways to connect in. Did I miss anything there? No. Okay. Oh, SGM pull card. All right. So SGM, am I pulling a card for you, hun? Yeah. About anything in particular? Do you I feel like you need to share the topic. That's what they're it's great. I can always blame it on them. I'm just pulling out some cards. Let's see. Okay. I'm actually drawn. Let's see. Yes, any card. Any card. All right, fine. Anyways, they already drew me to this book, Manifest Your Magnificence, or these cards. Kind of looks like a book, right? Oh, I think someone's making toast downstairs. It smells really good. Smells awesome. All right, SGM. Hold on, SGM. Okay. So SGM, there are two cards. The first card that came out, pretty cool card. I am limitless. There is nothing I can't do. That's what it says on the back. Okay, I gotta show you guys. I am limitless. And then there is nothing I can't do. So your angels guides just wanted to give you a reminder that you have there's endless possibilities of what you can create in your life. And I feel like you've been creating some limits. And the limits might be in your perception of what is right for you, or what um what is right for you, what is right for the individuals that you have been directing your attention to. And I feel like it is the energy I'm getting is like it's in a box as opposed to your outlook being limitless to the possibilities, being open, because it's like, well, this is what I want. This is what I am going to make happen. And so the energy, it's like you are holding on a rope, but the universe is like, no, like it's like you got a little bit of a tug of war there because the universe knows what, or your higher self knows, um, that you are limitless and that you have the opportunity to create something even greater, more fulfilling than what you think this is. Because the fulfillment within your perceptions of what you want is coming from a distortion in an ideal that is more of a society in the media type of ideal, but your ideal is coming from the beautiful uniqueness in who you are. You are magnificent and beautifully unique. And really, if you were to just ask the universe for, let's say, a soulmate that is in perfect alignment with the true, beautiful essence in who you are, then that is what you will receive. And it is not a struggle. It is not a pulling. Like, no, 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 it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's flowing to you in beautiful harmony. And because you have that trust, it comes to you. When you don't have that trust, there's delays and there's delays and there's delays. Because when you don't trust in that you're going to receive the alignment that would be with the magnificence in who you are, then how can they bring that to you if you don't think you are deserving of that? So it's like trying to come, but it can't come. So I think we can all relate to this in our own unique way. We are all beautifully limitless. And so when you are trying so hard to make a relationship work, and when you're doing this and trying this and doing this and none of it seems to be working. It's like the same loop of communication, the same loop of distortions of perceptions that are creating uneasiness and anger and frustration and sadness and loneliness. And when you're getting that never ending wheel of here we go again, that means somehow change isn't happening. Why isn't the change happening? Is it not happening because you are done and you don't have the energy anymore to try to make it work anymore? Like, it's just like, I'm just freaking exhausted of going through this. And so you're like, I'm just staying here, not really doing anything. Get off your fucking high horse. This is for all of us, okay? Get off of your fucking high horse. Well, it's not really high. It's, well, maybe it's kind of, it's not high in that's the other sense that we might have thought what I was talking about. It's like the high of, I'm too afraid to get off this horse. It's up too high. And if I step away from this, what am I going to? I'm going to the ground. Like, what's down there? I have the ideal. I have this partner. I have this house. I have this many kids. When I get off of here, like, what am I going on to? I'm going back onto the ground. Like, that's like stage one again, square one. Who wants to go there? But but sometimes we just need to get off a horse to step in a fucking limousine, right? Like going to a whole new level of satisfaction. That is incredible. Like, it's, you know what? It's so brave and courageous to get off that horse and to actually, like, no, I'm not liking this ride anymore. It took me 29 years to get off my ride. It was a fucking hard ride. I'm walking so funny now. Anyways, I make myself laugh. That's all that's important. But anyways, yeah, it can be tough. But sometimes the whole lesson within the journey was to learn what you've known to get to this point and going, all right, I'm going on a new ride because I've been working so hard here and I'm getting the same results. And it's because I'm supposed to be getting in the limousine now. I've had these learnings and now I'm going to be going into a better place. That was a rough ride. That was like, taking a horse up and down like mountains and stuff, and like sometimes lean back and all uncomfortable, and then fall of crap. you know, we've had a rough ride, but now, yeah, like they're showing me, or even that Corvette, pop into the Corvette and turning it on and feeling the purr. I was thinking the purr, but like like feeling it down there, and so it can be a really good ride. It can be real. You got to trust in it. You got to trust it can be a really good ride, because if you think that, okay, I'm going to jump, but I really don't think this is going to work out. Like, this is something's going to get fucked up here, because you don't know. Like, you have to pay attention to the underlying thoughts. Like, do we sabotage ourselves? We have to be in total trust that I'm awesome, right? You got to say that to yourself. Say it right now. Say it loud. Say it proud. I'm awesome. Because, yeah, you are. You are. You are awesome. What did that say? Okay. And we have, we are worthy of a great freaking life, right? Great sex life. We're talking about sexual distortions. Okay, so I have another card for you. And everyone listen up, because even though I pulled cards for SGM, you're here for a reason, right? There might be a tidbit from this. So be open, see what resonates and what doesn't resonate, including with you, SGM, right? Because some things came up for me to share with everybody. So if certain things did not resonate for you with this card, no sweat. You can leave those aside, right? But just watch out for inner judgments, right? We can have these inner judgments if a button is pressed and everything. So in some cases, just sit with it first, right? Sit with it and then see if it feels right or right. But give everything a chance and then see. That's how you catch your distortions, right? You got to give things a chance and being okay, even though the initial reaction is like, ew, or that's not right. Okay. This is what's important. So, like, watching those things, because we need to catch ourselves if there are distortions so we can let go of those judgments. Okay. Your next card, and for everybody, I am special. I am special. The most important person in my life is me. The most important person in my life is me. Does that sound selfish? I just want to see, right? Is that a button for you? Does that sound selfish, that you are the most important person in your life? That you need to be making decisions for your highest good, for your highest joy, for whatever is going to light you the fuck up, because you are special. Okay. Is that green? I got us. Yeah. Because you are special. And if you realize that you are the most important person in your life, then you can start loving yourself the way you deserve to be loved. Okay. You can start, and when you love yourself the way you deserve to be loved, guess what? You start attracting people in your life that will love you the way you are deserved. And that, okay, think of also that sex life you're looking for. Okay, just bringing it back to the topic. Um, you are special enough, you are worthy enough to be able to have a relationship where you can get that awesome sexual connection. or for your current relationship that maybe isn't quite there yet, for that to be healed and morphed and transmuted into total sexiness. Like you are so deserving and worthy of that. So you are special. And as you start to make decisions that are for your highest and greatest good, you get lit up, right? You light that inner fire and also those waters. So your second chakra is it's associated with the element of water, flow, right? Now you know what someone said to me today. Uh, I can't remember the question I asked. Like what are their expectations? You know, they're looking for a mate. So what are their expectations? And they said to me, I don't know, I'm just flowing. You know, I had a relationship, told me they had a relationship for 3 months and it didn't work out. So I'm just flowing. And I love that. That is the best attitude that you can have, whether it has to do with a mate, whether it has to do with your sex life, whether it has to do with your job, whether it has to do with being a parent or a wife or a husband or a brother or sister or whatever it is. You know, we just need to flow. So when I did last weekend's Feel Good Friday or the weekend reading, something like that. Oh yeah, I think it was the Feel Good Friday. My angels and guides, they gave me this message or this image of being in a kayak, going down the stream, okay, having the paddle, and the water was going very fast. So, not really needing to work that hard. It's just like, okay, just keeping myself upright, right? Like just staying in the water, using that paddle to guide yourself around some big rocks because you have little bumps here and there, but we're going to be able to get through. So, that's what started to happen this week, that current has started to pick up. We're like, okay, we planted our seeds, we're in new beginnings, let's fucking go, let's do this. Okay, so things are going to continue to pick up and pick up. So, as let's go back to I am special, right? So, as you are making choices that are for your highest and greatest good because you think you are the most important right now, you light yourself up. You're going down that stream and you're just flowing with it. You're just going with what is presenting as opposed to how do I create this? It's like, no, just flow and go with the inspiration. As you receive the inspiration, take action. As you receive inspiration, take action. And then you will get where you're meant to go and you will be able to manifest and bring things to you. And as you're lighting yourself up and as you're flowing your desires to you, you're also helping the people around you to lighten up because your vibration gets higher and higher, more in alignment, more powerful. And either the people that you're hanging around, they're going to have to catch up with you so your energies still match, or you guys are going to be separating apart. Right. And so whether this has to do with family members, whether this has to do with coworkers, things like this, if your vibration is no longer matching, then there's going to be some repelling that's happening. So it's going to either force people to like go along with you, or they're needing to go along their own merry way. So, and that is important because you are on a journey of self discovery. You're on a journey of healing and growing that amazing soul. And as you are doing that, and speaking to every single one of you, as you are growing your soul and align with who you are, and lighten the fuck up, you are helping other people to wake up to your raising their vibration. So, together, we are all helping to lighten up the world, right? We're helping to lighten up the vibration. And as we selfishly light up our own vibrations, I'm saying selfish in a really good fucking way, right? So as we selfishly light ourselves the fuck up, we are lighting everyone else up, raising the vibration of the earth. And so they've given me this image before. It's like seeing the world from like a viewpoint, up in space. And all of a sudden, everyone around the world is turning on their lights at the same time. It's like light, 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 let's light it up all around the world. So that's you, right? You are a part of that lighting up the world by working on you. And you do that in your own beautiful, unique way and light up that second chakra because that's the center of your joy. That is your creative you, right? That is so uniquely and amazingly you. And so when you light up that second chakra, when you own your sexiness, okay, and you embrace all of that sexy, unique sexiness in who you are, and yeah, you own it, you walk it, you live it, and you fuel it, right? You embrace what turns your crank, and you fuel that in a safe way, like feel safe and accepted and loved. Okay, so continue to find your tribe as well who are totally going to embrace you for you. And let's light this world up. So fuel those second chakras. Okay, so watch comedies. Whether it's comedy TV shows, whether it's movies, whether it's my live streams, right? Like my mission is to spread joy, healing, and create vibrant sexuality. So I have a very strong second chakra, and so some people tell me. One person said, "All you have to do is smile, and I get a boner." Like that's powerful second chakra. Like, wow. I feel like that's my superpower then, right? Like we all have our own superpowers. So for me, I just need to smile apparently, and that gives me a cape. And anyways, so that's me, the goddess of joy and sensuality, right? That's my superpower. So, does that say you know it? So, what's your superpower? So, if you fuel that second chakra, where do you feel your superpower is? Because sometimes you can feel that second chakra, but then that fuels you as. Oh, yeah. Okay, so they're showing me this is like, okay, Captain Obvious, but anyways, they're like, fueling that second chakra can fuel you as an artist. So that's why I was like, well, that's a freaking obvious one. Why don't you give me something that's a little more abstract? But they're like, I'm getting fucking there. My angels and guides are, they're they're quite funny. So, anyways, they make me laugh. So I love it. So yeah, you fuel your second chakra, then you can fuel that inner artist within you. You fuel that second chakra that can directly go up to your third chakra and help you to stand in your confidence, your courage and willpower. And some people totally they look to you and go, they are so fucking confident and might be confident in a certain something that they're in and you inspire them to go into their confidence, right? So because fueling this chakra, it moves up. And but if you have a blockage here, then it can affect the chakras around it too. And sometimes it just goes right up. I'm all of a sudden like snotty. I don't know. I feel like congested. So I'm doing a clearing as well. So that's why we're clearing this shit up. So this is nice. So hey, if you end up having to blow your nose, let me know because maybe I'm not going through this healing alone here. Okay, so yeah, I think that was the channel that ended with that. So yeah, the I am special. Light yourself up. We can heal the whole world and allow yourself to be you, embrace you, and let's go with the flow. Let's go with the flow, go with what wherever you're inspired, try things out. um, Listen to the messages that come within you that feel joyful and or love or gratitude. And but when you have messages or thoughts that are more fear based or anger or jealousy or frustration, then that's not love and that's not light, and that those are distortions. So remember to notice and acknowledge those distortions and be open to different perceptions of thought. Be open to not judging people or situations, being open to see the learning in the situation. And all that will help us to heal and align. And to help yourself align, do things to fuel your second chakra. So yeah, you can watch my live streams, as I said, the comedies, and I mentioned movies, and listen to music and do art, and um, do things that help you to feel blissful, that help you to feel in gratitude, and that will help you to be able to keep lighting yourself up. And then along with that, make decisions that are for your highest and greatest good so you can light up. SGM, thanks. Yeah, thank you. You know what? I'm so grateful for you that you asked for a card, because those messages we all needed to hear. And I really appreciate you creating that energy to help create this little healing that happened, to remind us of the specialness and that we are. I thought that was a good wrap up. I like that. And thanks for the hearts. Thank you for joining. I'm so glad. Like, when you guys come in, you come when all of you come to my streams and you pop in, even if you can't stay for a long time, I totally get it. Like, we got life going on. By you even popping in, and sometimes I don't notice you until afterwards that you've already gone, but then I'll see your name and I'll feel your energy, and I'm just always in gratitude when you can join in. So it's really nice. So you make my Friday night so fun, and I'm in gratitude for you. So thank you, everybody. And if you're interested in any one-on-one sessions, I actually, yeah, this is, some people might judge that I'm going to admit this, and whatever. I try not to judge you. So maybe you don't want to. Anyways, who cares? I actually decreased the price that was on my website for my one-on-one sessions, because I chose, when I decided, because my business is still fairly new, right? And when I decided, oh, Jesper, I want to read that. When I decided to, like, yeah, I'm going to start doing one-on-one sessions and stuff again, and so I had to figure out my rate. I just looked at some different people that do similar stuff, and I saw that rate, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to honor myself. I'm like, that seems like a lot, but I'm going to honor myself. But there was something that still seemed weird. It just didn't resonate. It didn't feel good. And it's not that I didn't think I was worthy of that, because it took me healing to get to the place where I'm like, I'm going to be worthy of that rate. And I'm like, yeah, I'm very gifted in what I do. I've been giving the tools, right? It's not that I'm more special than anyone else. We're all special in our own unique way, but we all have our own gifts. And so, but anyways, there was something that still felt funny about it. And so, anyways, I went in and I decreased the rate. And I don't know how long I will keep it decreased for, but I'm like, no, this feels right for now. So I'm bringing it. I wanted it to be more affordable to people, because when I looked at that other rate, yeah, and then I realized, I'm like, no, because I wouldn't feel comfortable paying that. Like, that would be like, I should be spending money on, like, other stuff. I don't want to spend that much money on me, you know? Like, so if I was judging that for myself because I wasn't in a position to pay that, then I'm like, no, I want to make sure I'm more affordable. So, anyways, I have changed it. So, if you are interested in a one-on-one session, and thanks for giving me the space to share that. I felt like I needed to. It was kind of like the grand finale of what I was going through. It didn't feel right, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just going to do it, and I'm just going to change it so I feel good, and now it feels light, right? So that's what's important, is it feels light. And yeah, so if you're interested in a one-on-one session, you can check out my website, thejoyfulyogini.ca. Or if you're interested in yoga, and I can do one-on-one yoga if that's something that you're interested in. But I have group yoga that you can join. So you can join over Zoom, and it's a cool group of people, and we all go through a healing together. All of my classes are intuitively guided, and then healing comes through and messages come through, and it's a really cool thing to experience if that's something that you're interested in. I'm experiencing it as you're experiencing it. Green eyed goddess, you're priceless, honey. Oh, thanks, sister. And Mayor Malak, hey, how are you? Okay, so Jesper says it's always late for me, but when I'm up at that time, I have come on. Yes, well, Jesper, I totally appreciate it. It's great to have your energy in here when you come in. So it was so wonderful to spend this time with you. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your weekend. I will be back on YouTube and on Reddit for the weekly reading. And then my Intuition Wednesday, it's no longer going to be at 12:30 p.m. because the weekly reading is at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But that one's going to have to take place at around 11 on Wednesdays now. But I'll be back on Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, you have a beautiful night too. Beautiful. You sexy goddess. All right. So from my light to your beautiful, sexy ass light, everyone, and just own it all. Namaste. So I'm going to say goodbye first on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And then to all my